Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkabutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video. It's Inspire Create challenge time, so we're up to challenge 199. So we are doing clean and simple cards today. The link to the challenge is in the description below, and from there you'll be able to see what all the other design team members have created. So clean and simple, here we go. Going to be using some online exclusives that have been added to the last chance list now, so these things will be available while stocks last. So this lovely set, I use this so much for sentiments, really love it. So we're using this today, the I Appreciate You there for our sentiment. Really great set, really worth getting that before it goes. And mixed florals we're going to be using, so not using the stamp set today, but the dies do come as a bundle with all these beautiful flowers. We're just using the dies today, so not only does that cut out those big images, we've got some other dies in there too, but also this one. So we're just going to use this lovely kind of grassy frondy kind of thing to make our feature piece on there. And we're just doing a really simple layout, really nice and clean, with white on white, with just a little bit of very simple inking along the edge there. Okay, so on this one I've used Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green and Azure Afternoon. It's just sort of the four, they're not primary colours, I know, but the four main colours that we use. So going to spin it around a bit, do a different idea for you today by using just sort of shades of the same colour or thereabouts. So we're going to do a pink to purple kind of shade today. So we've got white on white, so we've got thick basic white card base. This is actually White Willow that I've got as the layer there. And really the whole layout of this card was made so that I could use up some scraps. I had these little oddments. These happen to be approximately 1¼ wide, yeah, by 3½. And I had a few of them knocking around, and I decided to just make them into this panelled effect card. Okay, could have it landscape as well, and shade it differently if you wanted to. Cool idea to use up some scraps as well. So this is the thing we're going to be sort of playing with right now. Sentiment's going to be dead easy. We're just going to stamp that in black ink. So I'll just grab my Memento ink pad, which I forgot to get out. So we'll just stamp that real quick, and we're going to die cut that with one of the banners from the Stylish Shapes. Don't have to use a die, of course. Could use your scissors and just snip it out, or just use nice thin strip of cardstock, but I'm going to use the die today because I like the stitch detail. Just thought it added something to what was, you know, this sort of clean and simple look. So we'll just get that stamped, and we'll just pop that through the die cut machine, which I've just got here. Only take a moment to run that through. Roll that back and forth, and there's our sentiment. So that's ready and to go. And the other thing, of course, we need to die cut is this big piece here. So I'm just going to pop that onto this offcut. It happened to be the other one was cut out the other end, so let's just try and maximize our cardstock and make that up there, and we'll run this through too, and then we've got everything die cut, and we can just get creating with the bits that we've got. So again, forward and backwards. I always roll it back. I think it's an old habit from using previous machines. Okay, then we'll just get rid of those scraps, and that's die cut beautifully. And we'll just get a pokey tool, or use your take the pick tool, just to loosen that out of the die. Want to go nice and easy with this one. It's got quite a lot of little delicate bits on it, so just want to do it nice and carefully. It's a really, really lovely die, actually, really lovely. I'm going to collect these bits onto a piece of cardstock, and then I can just shuffle them into the bin. So just do it nice and gently. So I could have done this ahead of time, but it's quite a quick card, and I just wanted you to see a bit more of the process. And I was going to say, and it's not fiddly at all, but that one was a bit snaggly. Sometimes the cardstock just likes to sort of hold on to it. All the fibres sort of mesh together, don't they? So there we go. So there's our beautiful die cut. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so we'll pop that to one side to use later, and we'll clean out the die properly later on when I've finished. Okay, so that's all those. So we've got these strips then to do some ink blending on, so we'll just use some scrap paper, and I say we're going to use some pinks and purples. So we're going to start with Bubble Bath. And so what I basically did was sort of eyeballed approximately 2/3 of this. So I sort of used my fingers to space that out. I'm going to work from the left to the right. The vast majority of you guys are going to be right-handed, so you can work from right to left. I won't hold it against you. So just moving that across just for 2/3, but I want that to sort of fade out. So this is quite a pale ink, so I'm just going to work a bit more of that. Build that up so that we've definitely got that sort of darker portion fading out into a lighter bit there. Okay, really, really easy, nothing complicated. Okay, and we're going to work down our colours. So that was Bubble Bath. Whoops. We're going to use Fresh Freesia next. So just swapping out my brush for my light purple brush. Get that inked up. And again, just holding that steady and working in from the edge across that strip. Again, Fresh Freesia is a really nice pale colour, love it. And then we're going to get into the bolder colours. Towards the bottom. And just keep building that up. I think I want a little bit more, make that edge nice and deep. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, cookie. So Highland Heather is next. So far all of these colours are actually in the Subtles family. A little fluffy bit there, just take that off. And I'll get some fresh fruit. This isn't Fresh Freesia, this is Highland Heather that we're going to put on this one now. So exactly the same, just working that, oops, across. And fading it out. Don't know who I saw, but I remember seeing somebody using some blender brushes that sort of said, oh, everyone sort of, you know, swirls the brush in one direction, and actually you can get a bit more even a blend if you try and do it in both directions, because you'll catch both edges as you go down. There we go. So that's Highland Heather, and we're going to finish off with Gorgeous Grape. So this one will be a fair bit darker. So exactly the same again. Trying to remember to go in both directions. Try and get that a bit smoother. I want it to look different to that one's it's quite close to the Highland Heather at the moment, so I just want to make sure that that does look like a darker panel, otherwise the effect won't kind of carry through. There we go. I obviously didn't try this ahead of time, I was just going with it. And of course don't have to I did sort of a rainbowy kind of style on the first one. I'm doing these shades, but essentially you can just do whatever you really think's pretty, or whatever the recipient of your card is going to think is pretty. Okay, so now we've got those. Well, I probably should let them dry a little bit, but obviously in the interest of filming, we'll crack on. I'm going to pop a couple of lines of seal adhesive along those. Didn't do my little flick at the end, so that's why that was playing up there. So a couple of strips of that on each of those. And when I'm building up a panel like this, I'm going to look to get this nice and equidistant at the bottom here. So it's what, a quarter of an inch or something. So we'll do that one, and then we'll do the top one and do exactly the same, quarter of an inch ish. And get you could get a T-square or some grid paper or something to help you with the positioning. Okay, and then the other two, I'm just going to eyeball first. And if you do it upside down, now that I've put the adhesive on, I know I've got about 1/8 of an inch spacing there. Okay, and I know they're going to fit. So by doing the end ones first, you can sort of make adjustments to the spacing of your central ones, because you don't want them to look uneven, obviously, unless that's the look you're going for, of course. Nothing says they have to be evenly spread, but for this layout, that's what we're going for. Okay, looks like one of those do you ever see those things on the social media where it's sort of suggesting colour palettes? It looks like one of them. Just burnishing those a little bit, just making sure they're adhered down completely, and we'll just use some seal to attach this to our card base. So very, very simple to do. There we go. Now the other thing I did on the other one, which I haven't done, was I gave it just a little bit of a spritz. So in the blue bit you can probably see it the best. Okay, you see there's just a couple of little lighter sort of specks on there, and then I've done a few white dots and a few black dots as well with a pen. So I'm just going to get my water mister and a tissue. Oh, that was a cardboard box, by the way. My pre-order has come for the upcoming mini catalogue, which is quite exciting. So I'm just going to spritz just a little bit of water on that and lift it off, and you get that kind of effect. Hopefully that's coming across. See that? Just get a bit of a speckle on there. Okay, don't want to do it too much though. It's not like watercolor paper or anything, so you don't want to be soaking this, and ideally you'd have done it before you stuck it to the card, but I forgot. Okay, so our little detailed bit then, so you might want to use a silicone sheet to protect your work surface when you're adding glue to a really delicate die cut like this, or you could use like a sponge or a dauber or something to add glue, and you don't have to plaster it, you just need to make sure that it's secured in key places so that it doesn't lift up. And the little nozzle on this multi-purpose glue, you can get quite small dots out of. Just making sure that the sort of tips of those are got something on. Make sure there's bits of the base, so the base is all secure. And then anywhere where there's a larger sort of section, you can just pop a couple of little dots, literally little dots of glue, this is, and that should probably do it. Oops. So very carefully we're going to flip that over and kind of pop it down sort of centrally, so that you've got some of that over the blended bit and some of it over the white bit, and then we'll just press that down. I actually quite like using a block just to apply some nice even pressure when I've got stuff like this, and because they're smooth they slide over there quite nicely. So, and it's so the amount of glue that you've applied is so thin, it dries almost instantly. Isn't that lovely? Really like it. Really like it. So we're going to pop our little banner on. Okay. Could have it more this side actually. That look better, because we've got, so I like to sort of mix things up for you. So on this one I've done it on so it overlaps the white, but I'm just wondering whether we pop it this side so it overlaps some of that colour a bit and makes it sort of stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I think I like it there actually. Okay. Just going to use some tape for that. It's mostly flat. I mean, it's not obviously all the same level because you've got those extra die cuts on there, but it's near enough. Oops. If you're using the White Willow cardstock, that is a little bit thinner than the basic white, so probably get away with it even more with those. I'm going to use some of these are also on Last Chance. These are the iridescent faceted gems, so that's really going to go really nicely with the colours that I've used in the background. These aren't Stampin' Up pens. These are just acrylic pens that I'm just going to use to add a few little dots around the place. I used to do this loads. I stopped doing it for whatever reason, and yeah, I think it looks cute. So there's just little trios, and then I'm going to use the black one just to add a few more little, almost like, oh, might have gone a bit over the top on that one. Concentrating. So adds a little bit of something that you can use splatter. You could use some black ink, and it doesn't have to be black, even whatever ink you like, and sort of mix it on a block and flick like that water spatter all over the yeah, I'm going to keep them like that, yeah. And then with our embellishments, just still going to use the odd numbers to add these on. Sort of guide your eye up and down the card, and I might cover up some of those dots. I might have gone a little overboard on a couple of these, so let's just cover up a couple of those. Oops. It's alright to stop talking there because I was fighting my gems. Okay, there we go. Clean and simple. And it was simple, very easy to make in lots of different colour combinations to suit you, really. Okay, so that one's come out very subtle, I think, but like I say, there's loads of options for you with you know, 50 colours in the Stampin' Up collection. You've got so much to choose from. You could use thinner strips and do them in, you know, a lot more colours, or I deliberately didn't want to do a blended background, which I have done before. I wanted them to be in blocks like that. So okay, so that was the plan. That's what I've created for you to play with now. If you do recreate it, I'd love to see what you make. It'd be really, really interesting. Okay, that's it from me then. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Don't forget to pop along to the challenge. The link is in the description. You'll see everybody else's design team inspiration, and you can also upload a photo of your entry into the challenge as well. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. Do stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.